if we get sad, we're weakened. Joy really is strength. If you can maintain your joy, you can maintain your strength. If you can find something to laugh or be joyful or happy about, you can stay strong.
Welcome to Flip Your Script, the podcast about life's critical turning points and how people find the inspiration and motivation to move forward and rewrite their unique stories. Flip Your Script is produced by Media Minefield, a public relations firm passionate about the power of sharing stories. Specializing in earned and social media, Media Minefield helps clients take control of their unique story and message. The show is hosted by Christy Peel, founder and CEO of Media Minefield, who flipped her script from an Emmy-winning journalist to a successful entrepreneur and speaker.
Fasten your seatbelts, grab a tissue. You might laugh so hard you cry, and you might just tear up. Sheletta Brundidge has had to navigate through tough times, really difficult times. And you know what she does? She doesn't shy away. She leans in. And she leans in to help other people. Sheletta has rubbed elbows with everyone from Lil Nas X to Ellen DeGeneres and has been all over local and national media. Sheletta is a friend. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, girl, how you doing? It's so good to see you.
You too. It's so weird that here we are where we are when where we started was we had each one baby and we were in a newsroom in Minneapolis going through the, oh my gosh, babies, what's happening to our lives? And now a lot has happened to both of us.
Multiples.
Yeah, you're a pro at the parenting thing.
Girl, look, every day. Hold on. Hey, Andrew. See, look how this pro stuff works. Andrew, you're supposed to be downstairs keeping Daniel quiet. You should not edit that out. That should be in there because it's just
we'll
right
keep
on
it.
cue.
So you have four
girl.
kids and not like four, look at it's fairy tale land raising four children.
No, and I'm scared of people who have the fairy tale children because I'm like, what are you really doing at home, right?
Medication.
You know how that goes, girl. Okay, we just had breakfast for dinner, and sometimes we might not have breakfast for breakfast. And it's something that all moms are dealing with. We're all trying to adjust to this new way of doing things, our new reality, and we're doing the best we can with what we've got. And I think, a lot of us as mothers have to give ourselves some grace and try not to do it all. I got clothes right now that's been in the dryer for probably 3 days. I just keep passing by the dryer and starting them over, thinking that if they don't stop, I don't have to pull them out.
Get the wrinkles out. They're still warm. It's fine.
Okay. This is great. It's great.
So let's talk about your kids' special needs. And you're not pretending that isn't your reality, and you're very open about it, and you have a platform that you use, and you're using it to help other people. So, and then you do the whole hometown road thing. Like there's a whole lot that happened.
It's a whole lot of stuff going on. So, we had the one baby, Andrew, and of course he was perfect. He could read at 6 months old and count money, and he was modeling for Target, and we just thought, well, this is just perfect because he never cries. He came out like a little man, and we thought this is great. Was this parenting thing so difficult when every baby is perfect, like our perfect little Andrew? And then we decided to start having more kids, and so we had Brandon. Andrew was 6 years old at the time. And he wouldn't look at us. And I thought, well, and then we would call his name. He wouldn't answer. And, at first we thought, well, Andrew was so accelerated. Maybe Brandon is just a normal kid, right? This is what normal kids do because we had an exceptional child. And so this is just, a normal kid. But one day he looked at me and I just didn't see any light in him. I didn't see any light. And so I was like, oh my God, something's wrong. And I didn't know what autism was. Nobody in my family ever talked about it. Nobody in my husband's family had any special needs. And so this was new. And so, we got him tested and found out he had autism. And I thought, oh my God, he's never going to get married. He's never going to go to college. Nothing against Walmart greeters, but he's going to be a Walmart greeter all his life, and he's going to have to live with me, and I'm going to have to change his Pampers. And nobody ever told me that there was hope and things can get better, right? And so then we had another baby, Cameron. And then she was probably about a year and a half, and she didn't look at me. And I was like, oh, No, not again. Not my girl. Because you got plans for your girl. It's a big wedding, and you're gonna fly in, and float over to church, and you got your mother's dress, and you're gonna watch her cut a cake, and so she wound up being diagnosed with autism. And she was very shy. She wouldn't talk. They thought she was deaf. They wanted to teach her sign language, and they put her in a class where no kids could talk because she would not talk outside the house. And then we were like, okay, we got two kids with autism. We got exceptional Andrew. We're gonna try one more time. We're gonna roll the dice, girl, and see what happens. So we had Daniel, and it was immediately clear, almost from 6 months old, that there was something wrong. He was more severely impacted than the other children with his autism diagnosis. Not only would he not look at you, but he wouldn't even notice that you were in the room. You know how kids are when they play with toys. If you take the toy, they cry. He didn't even notice that he had the toy in the first place. Like, you would give him a toy and he wouldn't really understand what the toy was. It was really bad. And girl, I was like, I'm just gonna booze it out. I'm gonna stop eating and I'll just die. And somebody will take care of the kids. So I was under the table one day boozing it out, and I was weighing 98 pounds. And because I don't have any hair, people thought I was a guy. Because no matter what happens with the Kardashians, no matter how much weight they lose, they keep their boobs. That's a lie. The first thing you lose when you lose weight is your boobs. So I'm sitting up here with no hair and no boobs, and people are calling me sir, which is cool because I'm thinking I'm just gonna stop eating and die in a couple months anyway. It doesn't matter. And so I really heard the voice of God tell me, you think that I'm punishing you, but this is a position, and the position is motherhood. And not everybody gets chosen. And I chose you to shepherd these children's lives. Now you need to get up and fix your kids and help somebody else. And I got my butt up, girl, because I was scared. I thought Jesus was just right there. I was like, okay, I've been pretending like I want to die, but I don't really. I want to know Jesus. I don't want to meet him today. And so, and so I got up and I told my husband, with the way we were living in Texas at the time, I said, Texas special education school systems are horrible. We have to go back to Minnesota, where we got married, where we fell in love, where you and I worked together. We got to get back to Minnesota, where the schools are better, where the education is better, where therapy services are better. And so we moved our family of 4 children, 4 small children. Three of them were in Pampers and high chairs, special needs, to Minnesota, to Cottage Grove, found the Lovas Institute, where they would come into the home and provide therapy services for the children. And we started seeing them get better and better and better. And again, when this process started, nobody told me that it would get better. I always thought that this would be my reality forever. And I didn't realize it was seasonal. And once I realized that there was hope, I started using my voice to let other parents know the same, that no matter what season they're in, if they have a special needs child, just keep going and just keep pressing, just keep trying, and don't give up on your child or yourself, because it's two different things. You can give up on your child and not yourself. You can give up on yourself and not your child. And, people started seeing my story, and I was sharing my journey, and they were like, okay, well, if she can do it with 3 special needs kids, I can do it with 1. And, it's always so rewarding and such a blessing when I'm at church and somebody behind me says, I wasn't bringing my daughter to church because she has autism, but I saw you and your kids in church. And so I brought her. Today was the first time. Or we're out at Dave and Buster's and we'll see a family, and they were saying, you came and, brought your kids and you post about it on social media. And I saw it was a little challenging, but I figured if you tried with all the lights and the sensory stuff, we tried too. From football games to basketball games to baseball games. I hear from so many parents who seen our story and followed our journey and took a leap of faith with their children the way I did. And, the only person I had that I saw, and this was from afar, that offered hope was Holly Robinson Peete. she shared a little bit of her journey with her son RJ. She had a book and she had a show for a little bit, and they were talking about his journey for a little bit. And when I saw her hunkering down and, being a warrior mom and everything that she was doing, and it was getting better for him, that's when I figured, I could. If she could do it, I could do it. I just, I wish that at therapy centers, at hospitals, oh Lord, I just gave myself a new job. They'd have some kind of parent peer group or something. Not these Facebook groups where everybody's crying, but somebody who's already gone through it and came out on the other side with a child who has autism that's a college graduate who could be partnered with a mom whose child was newly diagnosed for tips. Everything I learned about kids with autism and what works, I learned from other parents, not a pediatrician, not a therapist, from another parent, from therapy services to toys to weighted blankets to new places to go, parks, medication, vitamins and supplements. And no pediatrician or therapist ever taught me nothing about my kids. It's been another parent. And it's always been like by coincidence, not, because the person was my friend. It's just asking questions. We in news, we ask questions and we're inquisitive, and not everybody does that. And you might miss out on an opportunity to get blessed and to get a blessing for your child if you don't do that. So I ask the questions and I give the answer whether you want to hear it or not.
Yes, you do. And the analogy of you being under the table and then coming out, and you do everything with humor, which is so endearing, but you're under the table and you got up from under that table and you were holding a microphone. And you were like, all right, and I'm using my voice, and listen to it or don't listen to it, but I'm going to tell you what's going on. And thank goodness you did, Sheletta, because you have touched so many people and you've gotten the attention of celebrities. I feel like every day I look on your social media and you're tagging someone and then someone's retweeting you and then you're on some national show and like we don't need the Kardashians. We've got Sheletta. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
You know what? It is just, being authentic and true and real, and people connect to that, just like people connect to your spirit because you are real. What you see is what you get. You ain't trying to sell nobody nothing. You ain't trying to, make me buy some blush or some hair care products. You ain't trying to push a Spanx girdle on me. You really are trying to help other women who want to start a business or want to brand themselves or want to get to that next level of greatness in their lives. And I want the same thing for parents who have children with special needs. I want the same thing for women, especially African American women, business owners and in politics. I want the same thing that you do. And so when people see the authenticity of a person and they bond with the spirit of a person, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, the truth stands alone. Realness is what it is. And, my family's been so blessed and God has given us so much favor that, one of my favorite scriptures is, for God to bless everything that I touch. I want everything that I touch, everything that I do, bless everything that my hands work on. So whether I'm typing and tweeting or whether I'm changing the pamper or whether I'm talking to you or, producing, at the radio station, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm working on, I always ask God to bless the work of my hands. So anything I touch, honestly, it's just God's favor over my life. I can't even say that I'm any kind of special. I can say that, God is special and he's blessed me so much. I mean, if you look at what's happened in my life, you can't explain it except that it's a miracle. I've got 3 kids on the spectrum. 2 of them have tested off. I won an RV on Twitter. Who wins an RV on Twitter? Come on,
you.
Bro. Really? Really? Lil Nas X is my kid's godfather. Really? Really? It's just been a blessing to, and I think that, you talk about following the path. And I've been quoting you, God bless you for being on my radio show on CCO Radio a couple weeks back. And I've been quoting you to everybody that I know about making the next step the right step. You can make your goals, 5, 10, 20 years from now, but that next step got to be the right step. And I've just been, ever since I talked to you, been really watching my next step, because you can just get so far off in what you want to do 5 years from now that you taking the wrong path or you on the wrong step. And so I always um, want to thank you for making sure that I understand that the very next step I take needs to be the right step. So it's just God's favor. And I know you're a Christian. I mean, I don't know if we're supposed to get out churchy on the podcast,
You
but
do whatever you
it's just,
want. It's a podcast. That's what we love
yeah,
about podcasts.
yeah,
You do
right.
you.
I love it. I love it. It's just God's favor over my family. Can I just say that that is exactly what it is? How he just, I believe in some principles. I believe in faith, right? I believe that, what he said in his word has got to come to pass in my life. I also believe that if I give, it'll be given unto me. I believe, that he said a generous person will prosper. And, if I live right and I'm obedient, he's going to bless me. He has to do it. I mean, he said it. And so I believe it, and that settles it. So, I just, like I said, bless the works of my hands, whatever I touch, whether I'm writing a book or a column or sending out a tweet or a post. I just really expect to be blessed. Whenever I touch something, if it ain't blessed, I'm like, Jesus, where you at? This is not getting blessed. I only got 2 mentions on this tweet. Where are you, Father God?
And he's like, stop tweeting at me, Sheletta. Please stop it.
Right.
I'm
I'm
busy.
hashtagging Jesus. Where are you? Hashtag Jesus.
What is so lovely about your spirit is that you have, 3 kids diagnosed. You just had this family tragedy, which I want to talk about. And if more than one members of your family died in a tragedy. And you're sitting here saying, I'm blessed. I've been
I'm
blessed.
blessed. Yes.
And a lot of
Yes.
people can go down a path and have a paper cut or feel like they have to wear a mask to play sports and the world hates them and they're not feeling very blessed. And then I look at someone like you who's very much out there talking about all the things that shouldn't be hashtag blessed and you're always hashtag blessed. So there's something so incredible about the fact that you have chosen to speak up and to use your voice and to put this spin on it that isn't spin for you. This is who you are, and
This
you're
is
the
it.
first one. This is it. This is who she
This
is.
is
Who
it.
you are.
This is it. Yeah. And I used to say this all the time. And people thought, oh, this is just a gimmick, or it's just, but happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. That's our family motto. Our family motto is happiness is a choice. You have to choose to be happy. No matter what happens in your life, you have to choose and make a decision to be happy. So, I'm sitting up here in Minnesota. Hurricane Laura's predicted to come ashore September this past year. And all of my family evacuates, except for my cousin Kim, her husband Chris, my first cousins, my father's sister, who had Alzheimer's, her husband, and another uncle. So that's 5 people. Sounds like a lot, but when you got like 55 relatives living there, it's not really a lot. So, So they didn't leave because my Aunt Rosa has Alzheimer's. And, taking care of my elderly father-in-law, I understand how difficult and traumatic it is to take them out of their environment. And they hunkered down, they had a generator, they had food, they boarded the house up, everything was good. They rode out the storm, girl, and they were fine. Everything was great. They even checked in with everybody after the storm blew through, and they were like, hey, we're good. We got food, we got water. We had one window busted out. Everybody's fine. And so they even invited my Uncle Clyde to visit them that day because he had pole or tree of some kind stuck in his roof. And they were like, come over here. We got a generator, we got electricity, we got water, we got food. We're good. And he was like, okay, well, let me pack a bag and I'll be over there. So he went over there and they ate and they were living their best life. And they put the generator in the garage that was attached to the house. Because the thing is that, and we haven't really experienced this in Minnesota, but when you have a flood or a storm like that and it knocks out power grids and it moves buildings off of their foundation, you can't just run out to the store and buy shoes and food and water and a generator. If you have a generator and you don't take precautions, somebody will come by and steal it in the night while you're asleep. And when you wake up the next day, there's no way to get a generator. First of all, your car's flipped over. First, second of all, you can't get down the street because it's riddled with tree limbs and debris. Um, and the closest generator is probably 7 or 8 hours away if there's no traffic, right? And so, they put the generator in the garage thinking, well, if somebody tries to come and steal it, the motion lights will come on and we'll see them. Well, the winds are blowing and the garage door closed and the fumes went up in the house. And the thing about carbon monoxide, it's not going to scratch your throat. It's not going to make your eyes water. It's not going to make your skin itch. You just going to die. It's going to get in your lungs and kill you quietly. If it's a fire, somebody could see smoke coming from your house and rush in to save you. You know what I mean? If it's, something burning, a dog might start barking or the smoke might get in your lungs and make you cough and wake up and then you realize, oh, damn, my house is on fire. But with carbon monoxide, there's nothing, especially if you're sleeping. You're just not going to wake up. And so that morning that they died, I was asleep in my bed in Minnesota with my husband. And I remember like waking up and I was like, somebody is dead.
For real?
I just felt it in my spirit. I was like, somebody is dead. I got to call my mama. It was like 2 a.m. I was like, I got to call my mama. Somebody dead. And my husband was like, you are so crazy. I was like, I know. I don't care. I'll be the crazy lady, but somebody's gone. I knew that. I knew it in my spirit. And so that morning when we woke up, my mama called me and told me that 5 of my relatives, girl, 2 generations, had all died from carbon monoxide poisoning in that house. And immediately, that was a Friday, I had Chad Hartman show, Feisty Friday. And he was like, you want to cancel? I was like, no, I don't want to cancel. And he was like, well, how are you going to do this show? I was like, hold my beer and watch me. Because really, happiness is a choice. If you really have faith and you really believe and hey, they Christians. We all praying and hoping one day to see Jesus. They actually with him. And I'm not saying that I don't grieve, but I'm not going to allow grief to overtake me to the point where I lose focus. What did God put me here to do? Be a light, make people laugh. Here I got an opportunity to do that in the face of what I'm going through. That might be a testimony to strengthen somebody else. To say, well, you know what? If I lost one person and I'm dying over here. I want to take my own life. I don't think I can make it. She lost 5 and she got me laughing. Let me reevaluate my life. What is she doing? We all walking testimony. Don't nobody, want to hear a sermon. They want to see one. I want to be a walking testimony to the goodness of God. How are you able to keep the faith, Jesus? How have you not lost your mind, God? How are you able to still smile, the Holy Spirit? And so we did the segment and he was like, okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, Sheletta's got some really tragic news that she wants to share with us. And everybody was so surprised that I came back and said 5 of my family members died. They were just undone because they couldn't believe that just moments ago we laughed for 10 minutes. And so I just had to share with them, our family motto. Even my kids, we don't let them get sad or down. Happiness is a choice you make. And I can't choose happiness for you. And there's nothing I can do to make you happy. My husband had to teach me that. I was like, you ain't doing nothing to make me happy. He was like, you better come happy. I can't make you happy. You better get here happy. And so, my aunt, the matriarch of our family, who was one of the people that died, I know that she was the one who told me bye. She, just touched my spirit and said goodbye. She went on to heaven. And, as I got ready to grieve for my family and go down to Louisiana to pay my respects, I heard her as big as day. Do not go down there and grieve. Go down there and give. And I was like, what do I have to give? First of all, it's COVID. My hours just got cut. My husband's hours got cut. None of the bills got cut. And we still got 3 special needs kids. And now we got to pay for all this extra Zoom therapy because they can't go into the center. And so I was like, I don't have anything to give. And so I looked around and I had all these children's books from my daughter's book, Cameron Goes to School, from last April. We published it. It was the first children's book. It was an Amazon bestseller. We were so proud of our little book. Cameron Goes to School is her story of having autism and going to kindergarten as a nonverbal little Black girl, right? And so I called the warehouse and they said they had 2,000 books. And I was like, bet, I'm going to take the 2,000 books. I'm going to go down to Louisiana and I'm going to give them away in Lake Charles. And so I called the library and they were telling me about all the damage and how the roof blew off and how all the books were destroyed. And so all these Minnesota children's authors donated their books for me to take with me to Louisiana. And so, girl, I'm thinking we doing something. We loaded up the RV and we going to Louisiana. We're gonna take these children's books. And girl, there's a bridge. It's the I-10 bridge that comes from Texas to Louisiana, and then there's a big old, go up, and then come down. And so as we got to the top of this bridge, I look down and I see holes in people's roofs. I see blue tarp everywhere. I see trees. I see cars flipped over. I see beds and living room furniture in the front yard. I see foundation that's empty, but a house shifted away from the foundation. I mean, we're talking about the strongest storm in 150 years. And I looked at my husband. I was like, we can't go. We got an RV full of books. We don't have a piece of bread. We don't have $1. We don't have a bottle of water. We don't have tarp. We don't have nails or a hammer. We cannot come down here with these children's books. These people are going to cuss us out. They need real help. And we don't have that. And my husband said, look, if this is what God told you to do, we're going to do it. And if they cuss us out, they cuss us out. Now, mind you, there's no TV there, because all the lines are down. All I did was got on social media and said, hey, I'm coming to Lake Charles. I'm going to spread some love. We're going to give away these books for these babies and bring your kids and be blessed. We got to that library parking lot, girl, there was debris everywhere. They had to move trees to get the RV in the parking lot. You could see the hole in the roof of the library. It was just a mess. Girl, I looked up and they had about 30 to 40 cars already lined up before we got there. People were walking up with no shoes on with their kids. And I was like, these people are coming out here for a book. And this lady said, we've been looking forward to this all week. We've been in line for water and tarp and food. This is the first time that my child and I can get in line for something that is not life-saving. This is something fun that we can do together, something that we've been looking forward to. Girl, these people cried with me. We prayed together. It was just amazing. And something as simple as a children's book blessed so many people. In 3 hours, we gave away 1,500 books. Can you believe that, girl?
Wow. And there's something so lovely about the image that you painted of so much sadness and going in and bringing light to people. And that's your whole mission. That's who you are.
It is. It is, girl. It is. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. That's one of my favorite scriptures, right? That's when I realized that if we get sad, we're weakened. Joy really is strength. If you can maintain your joy, you can maintain your strength. If you can find something to laugh or be joyful or happy about, you can stay strong. It's when you get sad. It's when you get down. It's when you start looking at your problems and telling God how big your problems are instead of telling your problems how big your God is. That's when you lose focus, and that's when you go down, and that's when you get off track, and that's when you get off your path. Anybody who's got an amazing story has an amazing journey. That's just life. Life has arcs in it. It's up and down. You think about somebody like Tyler Perry, who's homeless in his car, or, Oprah Winfrey, whose grandmother, was teaching her to pick peas and, on a field, on a farm that was once a plantation. Look at some of these stories. Taraji Henson, was homeless. Tiffany Haddish was homeless. You start looking at all these stories, but the one thing they never did was they never gave up hope. They never stopped moving and they never stopped smiling. And if you can just keep moving and keep smiling and don't give up hope and maintain your joy, you'll have the strength to make it through anything, girl, whether it's some special needs kids or 5 of your relatives dying. You can make it. If I can make it, you can make it. He is not a God that is special to me. He is no respecter of persons. So if he can bring me through it, he can bring you through it too.
And what you do and your message is so catchy because when people see it, they want to touch it. They want a little, how can I get a little of
Just a
that?
little bit.
Yeah, I just want a little. I just want to touch it. And you've been able to take that on big stages, national news. You are recently given carbon monoxide detectors to people. So now you have another thing to help people with to save lives. And you do all of this through this platform of Sheletta's Funny. It's humor, it's joy, and you're doing serious work and you're talking
Yeah.
about serious things and people notice. Are you surprised at the response that you get? I mean, like, I'm just bringing
Yeah.
some books and like, look at who's here and I'm just
Right.
doing this and I got an RV showing up and
Right.
it's
Right.
crazy.
Girl, I started believing God for big things. And I also started being obedient. I also started having faith. But the main thing is I started showing God that he could trust me. Everything that I have in me, I've always had, but God couldn't always trust me, right? Because I would either take the credit, I would mess it up. I had character flaws, I had integrity issues. I didn't give him the credit, or I was selfish about it. And so, God would give me opportunities and I would mess it up. You know how there's a parable about the talents, and one got 5, and one got 10, and one got 1. Anything I got from God, I always hid it. I don't want to share it. I was looking out for me. And so, as I got older and I got wiser, I was able to see, oh, this is how this whole thing called life works. So you want me to use what I got to help and be a blessing to somebody else. So you gave me that so that I could make somebody else laugh, not laugh at them. Oh, okay. All right. So you gave me this gift of comedy, not so that I could make fun of people, but I could make people have fun. Oh, okay. So I could take something as serious as 5 of my relatives dying and help people understand how important it is to have carbon monoxide detectors, or I could give hope to parents who have kids with special needs who are ready to, take their own life and their kids too. And so I just don't take what God gives me lightly. And I know that, he's giving me the one talent with the kids. And then I look around and then there's something else happening. And so he gives me another talent, with the books, right? And then I look around, he gives me another talent with the podcasting platform. Okay, all right. Okay, I got it, God. And then, here comes the situation with the carbon monoxide detectors, and God's like, can I trust you? Can I really trust you? Because it's not just trusting me with a platform, it's trusting me with people. When my relatives died, everybody else in my family was under the table and they still under the table. And in fact, I just got a call from a couple of relatives like, why you keep talking about this? We're trying to move on. We're trying to grieve. And I'm like, if you are still grieving, you got some problems. And that has nothing to do with me. We can't sit and grieve quietly and silently while people in Houston are dying because they're pulling their barbecue pits in the house to warm it, or they're standing in front of a gas stove to heat their homes, or they're sitting in their cars in the garage with the car running. During this horrible winter storm down in Texas, so many people died from carbon monoxide poisoning, and there was such a spike in the number of hospitalizations, especially for children, that they called it a public health crisis. And so I was like, I got to do something. I'm sorry that I have to defy my elders and my family, but we can't just sit back and watch these people die and not say anything. So, I called some of my news friends down in Texas and said, please let me get on TV and talk about this. And the most touching and impactful image is the one of 5 of my relatives' caskets lined up at the front of the church, right? 5 pearl white caskets with red roses at the front of the church, each one containing somebody special to me. And if I'm telling you to get a carbon monoxide detector, when you see those caskets, you're gonna be like, you know what, girl, let me go get one, because I understand what you're saying, that I don't want it to happen to me and my family. Because who's at home by themselves these days? Everybody got somebody else with them. So it's not just your life. You're talking about your grandmother, your grandfather, your kids, your husband, your nieces, your nephews, your uncle, whoever's living with you, whoever's coming to your house. And, you are the gatekeeper of that house. And so, if we could just touch one person, if we can, help one family understand the importance of having a detector in the home. Because if you standing around the oven to stay warm, because otherwise you might freeze to death, and that carbon monoxide detector goes off, then to turn the damn oven off. You know what I mean? At that point, to open some windows, to step outside, no matter how cold it is, and just take a break from being in that environment that could possibly kill you. And so, what I kept hearing from people was, I saw your story. I appreciate everything you're saying, but we don't have no money to buy a detector. We lost our jobs due to COVID, and for us, $20, $30 might not mean a whole hill of beans. But for some of these families that I was hearing from, Christy, girl, they were saying, that's my child's medicine. That's dinner for the week. It was like, we can buy a bag of chickens and beans and rice. We can buy some cereal and some milk, and we good for, 3 or 4 or 5 days. After our food stamps run out, or after our assistance, comes to an end. Our unemployment just ran out. And so I called First Alert. I ain't know nobody at First Alert, girl. I was like calling customer service, like, hello, yes, my name is Sheletta. Listen, 5 of my family members just died, and I had wanted to know if y'all could get, yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If y'all could give me some free detectors to pass out to people in need. And girl, they were just foolish enough to give them to them.
And that's really what you did. Like,
Yeah,
you're
that's
not,
really
this
what I
isn't
did.
joking. This is really
No,
what you did.
it's the only funny because it's true. And I tell my jokes are like birth control. That's 99.9% true. And so, and so I really, because I didn't know anybody at First Alert. In fact, before my relatives died, my own carbon monoxide detector was in the garage because it had started beeping because it was low on batteries, and I got tired of the beeping. So I put the damn thing in the garage and closed the door and let the batteries run out because I didn't want to hear the beeping. So I'm in here unprotected with my 4 kids, my husband, and my father-in-law. You know what I mean? And so, so they gave me those detectors, and I ran out instantly. Instantly. I had 450 people on the waiting list after I had given 100 out. And Minnesotans found out that I had these 50 people, and they were like, how can we help? And I'm like, I'm not set up to receive. I'm set up to give. I hate those damn GoFundMe pages. I hate, the begging with the pitiful picture. I hate that stuff. I hate, and then that crowdfunding and that stuff. It might be good for somebody else, but I really live by the scripture that I'll be the lender and not the borrower. You'll never see God's people begging for bread. The righteous will never be forsaken. And so, it's new for me to live like that, but that's the way I'm living now. I'm like, I'm not begging for anything. I'm not asking for anything. God, if you put this on my heart and gave me the vision, you got to give me the provision. And so people, were like, well, we want to help. We want to help. Girl. And the next thing I know, checks start showing up at the house. $100, $20, $50 to buy more detectors and to ship them. It's one thing to buy them, then you got to box them and put the pack of peanuts in there and the tape and the labels. And, it's a whole production, honey.
You're
And it's just
Amazon
me.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, it's me and the kids, and so I was like, okay. So, and then people started emailing me and sending me messages on my website and social media saying, hey, can I have 10 names? Can I have 5 names? Can you send me 20 names? And girl, I started out with, I gave away 100, still had 450 people left. And I think right now I'm down to like 30 or 40 names. I just left the post office right before we start chatting. And I, shipped out another, I don't know, 160 something. I don't know, girl. It was a lot. It was a lot. But, just trying to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. You can't tell people to go do something and then they tell you they can't and then say, oh, with thoughts and prayers. What you gonna do? Are you going to just, let them sit up in the house with no carbon monoxide detectors? You're gonna find a way to make it happen.
And you made it happen.
We make it happen, girl. That's the kind of chick. I'm gonna make it happen, chick. Don't tell me. If you tell me you want to do it, girl, I'm gone. My friend Geraldine still says I'm the first person she ever met whose spirit and the spiritual and the physical move in tandem. As soon as I get it, I'm gone. I'm moving because I just want God to know that whatever vision He gives me, I'm serious about it. So.
And you have this podcast empire you're building. You've got the carbon monoxide. You've got the books. You've got you're raising these kids. You're wifing. You're on the radio. Your social media. I don't know when you're sleeping. You're boozing under the table. You've got a lot of things you're doing. How do you? I know where your energy comes from because it's fueled by your faith. But what do you do on the days where you're like, geez, could I just get a nap? And
I know. I wake up like that. I wake up thinking, how long is it before I can go to sleep? I really do. But girl, for real, oh my God, this changed my life. So there's a scripture that says, those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. New strength. And I was like, I never read it like that. Those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. Every day is new. We never know what's going to happen that day. The refrigerator could conk out. The kids could wild out. My father-in-law could fall. My husband's girlfriend could call. You just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen.
She'd have to deal with you. And I can't imagine being that woman.
She know better. So, new strength. And so every day I just ask for the new strength to make it through that day. And God has never failed me. And so I never go to sleep like tired or, worn out. I'm never like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. Girl, I'm always, this is it. Like, I don't like come in here and just, this is exactly how it is because I just really believe that, every day I get new strength. And so whatever challenges happen, girl, I got enough strength to make it through. But I just enjoy laughing so much. I enjoy being happy so much. And I've just made a decision to be happy. It's like, marriage. It's like love. It's like, every day you wake up, you don't want to go to work. Every day you wake up, you don't want to, be with your husband. Every day you wake up, you don't want to be a parent, but you decided that we're going to sign these papers and stay together. I decided that I was going to take this job. I decided that I was going to start this company. Every day you wake up, you do not want to go in the media minefield. I know you don't. Every day you wake up, you're like, you know what? I could just be in Mexico right now with Ted Cruz. We could be kicking it. We could be doing our thing.
No, I have never thought that. I have never thought I want to be in Mexico with Ted Cruz. That has never crossed my mind, actually.
So, we make decisions. You make a decision to give 110% to your company so that your employees, could have a viable income. You decided to give 110% of yourself to your business. The same thing with happiness and joy. It's a decision, no matter what we want to do or how we want to feel or how we want to behave. If you choose and decide to be happy, nothing that happens in your life can make you feel otherwise.
Sheletta, I hope that people save this episode and pull out pieces of it when they need to. I hope they have a day and they think about some of the things you said and they take a snippet of it and play it, because there are days where you just need the little reminder. And like I said, with you, there's always laughter and you feel a little like, I'm laughing. People are dead. Autism. Right. I'm laughing, but it feels good because I'm not laughing at them and I'm laughing with Sheletta, and Sheletta says it's okay. So
it's not so bad in my house.
It's fine.
It's her kids. Girl, look, I'm telling you, and my relatives look at me and they draw strength from that. You know, if we all say that we believe and we have faith, then we can't be grieving as if we have no hope. We can't be walking around here. How are we going to be examples to other people? How are we going to be a testimony? How are we going to be a light? This world has so much darkness in it. Be a light. And we were talking earlier about, why people are just coming this way. Why people are heading in this direction, because there's light. People are always going to be drawn. What's that over there? There's some light over there. What's going on over there? Some light going on over there. Ain't nobody drawing the darkness. Oh, that's a dog spot. Let me go over there. No, they're drawing the light. They're drawing the laughter. They're drawing the love. And if people really want to get to their next level of greatness, the way they do that is by being a light. And that's new for me. I just learned that. There ain't nothing I've been knowing all my life. That's why you just now seeing some fruit. It's so funny because my mom and dad have started a scrapbook. I'm 49 years old and my parents are starting a scrapbook. And so I go to Houston and they got this little scrapbook and they showing me all the little articles and stuff that they collecting. And I laugh at them. I said, y'all wait till I'm 49 years old to start making a scrapbook. My daddy says, you waited till you were 49 for us to be able to collect scraps.
Boom.
Boom. Mic drop. But he was not lying. I think about all the years that I wasted being depressed, pity party, not being happy, not reaching my full potential, self-sabotaging, right? Almost there, right at the finish line and just turning around and walking back to the starting gate. In the wrong race. I'm supposed to be in the shot put and I'm over here in the javelin. I'm supposed to be doing 100-yard dash and I'm doing the 4x100. What's your race? What's my race? Get in your race. Stay in your, people say all the time, stay in your lane. I never knew what that meant, but that means that, there's something special and specific in this design just for you to be a blessing to other people. And, I always ask God to help me to be in the path and the position that I'm supposed to be in. I don't want to be in nobody else's lane but my own. And I think that's another thing too, is when you are uniquely who you were designed to be and doing what you were designed to do, people will see that and reward that, and they'll gravitate to that. Because, who we sitting here talking to right now, this was not the person that you met at KSTP on the assignments desk 15 years ago. It's not. Yeah, you're not the same. I would have never pegged you to have, an amazing business and doing all the wonderful things that you're doing. I mean, as life goes on, girl, we grow and we learn. And, those of us who want to get to that next level, we really learn from what we did wrong and we try to fix it. And that's what scares me about our society now, is nobody wants to take responsibility for the things that they did wrong and fix them. They just want to kind of skate by or say they're sorry or half say they're sorry and keep it moving, and then just do it again and then say they're sorry and half sorry and skate by and do it again. And so we got a lot of people with greatness inside of them, but they can't get to that next level of greatness because they don't learn from their mistakes. And I just pray that I learn from my mistakes so that I can keep climbing to where it is that God wants and needs me to be.
Because the problem is in the mirror and the solution is in the mirror.
Girl, right? Come on, preach now. Take up a tithe. And
then I'll buy some Carmen. I'll buy some detectors for you. We'll take a tithe.
Please.
We'll buy the detectors.
Right.
You send them. It'll all work. This will work.
It's all good.
So you've said so many great things, and I hate to end the conversation, but your kids need you, and it's cocktail hour for you probably. And
you're okay. 5 o'clock on the dot. 5:01:30. I'm drinking.
Yeah, so we're late because we did this.
Yeah, we are.
When the kids are more together with daddy's home and that sort of thing. But the last question I ask everyone, and you gave a lot of scriptures and a lot of quotes, and you just are dropping truth all over the place. Is there one quote particularly or one scripture particularly that you have leaned on that you could leave people with?
Your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. Your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. Giving is a gift. It's my gift. Anytime you see me or my family, we giving something away. We giving away books or detectors. My kids are givers. When the Drake Hotel burned down, my kids took their Christmas gifts and had me run them down to the hotel and give them all away to children in need. My son gave away his autographed Kyrie Irving tennis shoes to a kid this is just giving as a gift. What's your gift? I want to meet Oprah. I don't know about y'all, but I want to meet Oprah. I want to hang
Bring
out
me
with
with.
King. I want to hang out with Michelle Obama. It's just about, I want to be at Meghan Markle baby shower. Okay. It's just some stuff I want to do. I want to be in the presence of great men and women. Well, how do you get there? It's your gift. Whatever your gift is, whether it is talking or it is business or it is art or it is poetry, whatever your gift is, find out what your gift is, what you're gifted at. And your gift is the thing that you do the best with the least amount of effort. Whatever it is that you do better than anybody else without even trying, that's your gift. That gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men and women. And so you were like, I'm linked up with Marcus Lemonis from Camping World, really? Linked up with Lil Nas X, really? Shout out from Michelle Obama, really? Because the gift is making room. God is not a man that he should lie. I was saying that to him in prayer this morning. I said, my husband might lie, my boss might lie, my daddy might even lie. Okay? My daddy used to tell me all the time when I would go to him and say, Dad, can I borrow $10? He'd be like, oh, no, baby. Catch me next week. I get paid next week. Right? We were unbanked. We carry cash. And so the next week I would go to him and say, hey, Dad, you got $10 I could borrow? Oh, no, baby, I got paid last week. Catch me next week. Okay. I was like 20 before my mama stopped me. And she was like, girl, your daddy been lying to you all this time. Your daddy get paid every Friday. And every Friday you run in here asking for money and he never gives it to you. He tell you he either got paid next week or he got paid last week. And you too dumb to realize. I was like, you know what? She is right. My daddy been lying to me all these years, over 10 damn dollars. Okay. So my husband might lie, my boss might lie, my daddy, he did lie, but God is not gonna lie. So whatever the gift is that you have, the thing that you do with the least amount of effort, start doing it. And wherever it is that you want to go, your gift will take you there. And when I get there, I'm gonna put it on social media so y'all can see. Me and Oprah like, hey, we're going to Tyler Perry's house for a gumbo party. I'm gonna bring you back a plate, girl.
Can I drive you? I just want to get close.
You know it, girl. And don't
right.
stop dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. I'm 49. I still got dreams. I remember when I was like 40, I said, I'm gonna stop dreaming for me. I'm gonna start dreaming for my kids. Right. And I started trying to, push my kids and get them to do stuff and, have dreams for Andrew. And he was like, Mom, what are you doing? I'm 7. And I was like, yeah, what am I doing? He's 7. Why am I pushing this kid at 7 to do things that I really want to do? You know what I mean? So I had to back up and say, it's not too late to have dreams. You can be 50 or 60 and still dream your dream and live your dream. Oprah Winfrey once said, they asked her with all her money and, everything that she's done and accomplished. They asked Oprah, what do you dream? What's your dream for yourself? And she said, I want to live inside of God's dream for me. I want to live inside of God's dream for me. So I'm praying for me and for you that your and my gift will make room for me and you and put us in the presence of great men and women, and that we will live whatever it is that God created us to do before we were even born, that we will live inside of God's dream for us.
Sheletta, thank you. I feel like this whole episode just needs a big amen at the end. Yeah,
Girl,
thank you.
yes.
Thank
I
you.
love you. I love you. Girl, can I just say thank you? Thank you for what you're doing for women. Thank you for the example that you are. Thank you for your business. You ain't out there just beating folk over the head trying to tell them what to do, but you are running your race. You are in your lane, and you are showing us women how to have a business with the spirit of excellence, how to be successful and unapologetic about it, how to be professional, how to take care of your employees. Girl, I mean, just you don't even really understand how many women you inspire. And just by running your race and doing your thing and touching people like me, right? And then I start sharing your wisdom and your knowledge. And then that touches other people. And then they start sharing. They don't even know they crow Christy Peel. Okay. They just like, I heard somebody had said that. You are somebody who said that. Okay. Girl, I'm telling you, I was quoting you to my sister, and she told somebody, and they told somebody, and they brought it back to me. I'm like, I told y'all that. My friend Christy Peel said that. Don't be calling me talking about the next step is the right step. Make sure the next step. I'm the one who told her. Just went through 8 different people and came back to me. So you don't even realize, just doing what it is that you do and being who you are, how you are impacting and empowering women.
Well, thank you. And I said at the beginning that, grab a tissue. I didn't know it would be for me. So thank you. But, like you, Sheletta, my faith is my fuel, and my gift. I wasn't 20 when I figured it out, and I'm on a path that I will hope to keep unwrapping it. But the thing about gifts is that once you figure out kind of what it is, it only makes an impact if you share it. And you have to share it. And I love hearing that there's seeds being sprinkled, and I hope that they're being watered. And long after I'm gone, nobody knows my name, but they're reaping the fruits of that. And that would be the greatest legacy, is to make a difference and to make other people's lives better. And you inspire me. I adore you. And I am so grateful that our paths continue to cross, and I know our conversations will go on. And for most people, I end with a whole bunch of things that I learned, and you have continued to say so many powerful and important things. I'm only going to say one thing that you said. I'm going to say 2. Sorry. I'm going to say 2 because you said 2 things that I want to make sure that we wrap up with, which is happiness is a choice. And nobody wants to hear a sermon. People want to see a sermon. Don't tell people you're the light. Be the light, and people will be drawn to it. And whether your fuel comes from your faith or something else, be the light, make a difference, spread your seeds, and trust that the wind will blow. My hope is Sheletta's story empowers you to believe you're capable of more than you think, to discover motivation, to uncover inspiration, and to find the strength to turn the page.
Thank you for listening to Flip Your Script, hosted by Christy Peel and produced by Media Minefield. If you like our message, please be sure to give us a 5-star rating and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also check out flipyourscriptpodcast.com for pictures, resources mentioned in the show, and information about our other great episodes.